What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video, and in today's video we will be getting into Aaron Rodgers not coming back this year, unfortunate, but his plans for the future with the New York Jets, which could be spun into something exciting. I'm bummed that the Aaron Rodgers story came to a close this week after the New York Jets loss. And it wasn't just this loss to the Miami Dolphins. Yes, it was the final nail in the coffin, but you could go back to that game, Atlanta, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Patriots. There were like 5 games this year that the Jets lost where, with a semi-normal functioning offense, they probably should have won, or at the bare minimum, kept it a little bit more competitive. So Aaron Rodgers never really came out and said, I am not playing this year, but he all but said it with his words. So he went on Pat McAfee earlier today and said that he wasn't 100%. If they were alive, he would push to be playing right now. He expects to be 100% in a few weeks. Thought a realistic goal for 100% would be pretty much the start of the playoffs, which makes this year even that much more frustrating. But he's not 100% yet. He's not fully healthy, so he is not going to return to play this year. His goal was the December 24th, Christmas Eve, but again, probably not realistic with this team out of the mix. If they were, God knows what, if they had 2 more wins, probably playing. 1 more win even, maybe he is probably still playing. 2 definitely, but unfortunately, that's not the case. And with the Jets out of it, I am glad that they are going this route. I don't see any point, and I did not see any point of rushing him back or trying, bringing him back and trying to get him back in here to play when, again, let's be honest, there isn't, there's not a realistic, it wasn't realistic. There's no chance for them to make the playoffs. Like, why risk injury at that point? If they still had something to play for, maybe a different conversation. That's what it seemed like he was saying as well. Then we get into this spicy little nugget from Aaron Rodgers, and again, something that I myself am not really all that surprised by. He says that 2024 won't be his last year in the NFL and with the New York Jets. It sounds like he is going to play at least 2 more years, which is obviously a big thing because that means he could potentially be the Jets starting quarterback in 2024 and 2025. So it's not all in 2024 and then, oh God, what the hell do you do in 2025? It feels like at a minimum that's what it's going to be for him to be back. And I was happy to hear him speak that way. Again, I know that unfortunately this year did not go how anybody wanted it to. He gets hurt 4 plays into the season. I just hope they are better equipped to protect him, give him weapons, and really put yourself in a spot and have a shot to be competitive offensively. And he also stressed that it's a retool, not a rebuild. He kept saying reload on the offensive side of the ball. And that is where the Jets have the biggest issue. They are one of the best special teams units in the league. They're one of the best defenses in the league. They are by far the worst offense in the league. And having Aaron Rodgers back would clearly help that, but they also, as evidenced by this game against the Miami Dolphins and throughout the entirety of this season, they need more help on the offensive line and more help in the wide receiver room. They have Garrett Wilson. Beyond Garrett Wilson is a ton of question marks. At the running back room, you have Breece Hall. Dalvin Cook's not coming back next year. Is he a Benekanda? Is he an RB2? Do you have to find an RB2? What do you do there? I'm pretty comfortable with Tyler Conklin and Jeremy Ruckert as a 1-2 punch at the tight end spot. Maybe add another guy, a vet or someone else into the mix to round out that room. But, for me, I think the emphasis in this retool has to be, 1, with the offensive line, 2, also with the wide receiver room, and then finally the coaching. And we'll get into, his belief in Hackett, Saleh, and Douglas. And again, unfortunately, Nathaniel Hackett, Robert Saleh, and Joe Douglas are all going to be back in 2024. They still, even if Hackett's returning, they need to revamp that offensive staff. Keith Carter should not be employed. Todd Downing should not be employed. Rob Calabrese. You go right down the line, the positional coaches, the running back room and the wide receiver room. There should be some turnover on that staff. You can't run it back with that same offensive staff. You have to get additional minds in here, and I hope that is a part of the plan of the reload. Because, like I said, it can't just be, what we're going to do is we're going to really put a hyper focus on this, getting the offensive line fixed and the wide receiver and add a wide receiver or two, and then just everything's fine with this staff. No, that should not be the plan. That should not be anybody's plan. That seems like an absolutely terrible idea. And I guess the last thing I'll say too before I get out of here is Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh, by how he was speaking, by how he being Aaron Rodgers, those two guys are going to be back. And it's been a heated debate for weeks if that should be the case. The moral of the story, there are no more excuses for Robert Saleh or Joe Douglas. I have seen people online go to the nth degree to defend Joe Douglas while simultaneously bashing Robert Saleh, like the problems that Robert Saleh has, which he has his own. We could talk about, game management and being way too conservative and all those things, all true things. But Joe Douglas in year 5 having offensive line issues like this is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. Not having a better plan at QB2, free agency whiffs. There's a lot wrong. So they need to get their act together, and they need to not only be a playoff team next year, they have the longest active drought in all of sports, in any of the 4 major sports leagues in North America. That has to end. They have to win a playoff game at least next year. But not so surprising, Hackett, Saleh, Douglas are coming back. Hackett in some capacity. Maybe they change the play caller and have Hackett, be the quarterback coach, or go get Aaron Rodgers coffee and sit with him in the meetings or something to keep him around. But Saleh and Douglas are coming back. So we got that news as well. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.